Governor Perry, since the Islamist-oriented party took over in Turkey, the murder rate of women has increased 1,400% there. Press freedom has declined to the level of Russia. The Prime Minister of Turkey has embraced Hamas, and Turkey has threatened military force against both Israel and Cyprus. Given Turkey's turn, do you believe Turkey still belongs in NATO?
When he was arrested, Ahmed Sheikh yelled out, "If you touch him, you will burn." He was talking about this enigmatic figure, Fethullah Gulen. Sheikh was writing a book about him. Gulen is a charismatic Muslim cleric and a powerful ally of the Turkish government. He runs a huge network of schools in more than 120 countries around the world. From his unlikely home in exile, a farm in the U.S. state of Pennsylvania.
Some say it's more like a cult. Others are suspicious of his network of charter schools worldwide.
What he does is, he builds schools. He uses education as a tool to achieve his goals, to Islamize Turkey. That's where he started. But it hasn't stopped there.
The Gulen schools in the United States actually don't teach Islam, but are known for strong math and science curricula and rigorous discipline.
Do you believe Turkey still belongs in NATO?
Well, obviously, when you have a country that is being ruled by what many would perceive to be Islamic terrorists, when you start seeing that type of activity against their own citizens, then yes, not only is it time for us to have a conversation about whether or not they belong to be in NATO, but it's time for the United States, when we look at their foreign aid, to go to zero with it. And you go to zero with foreign aid for all of those countries, and it doesn't make any difference who they are. You go to zero with that foreign aid, and then you have the conversation about, do they have America's best interest in mind? And when you have countries like Turkey that are moving far away from the country that I lived in back in the 1970s as a pilot in the United States Air Force, that was our ally, that worked with us. But today, we don't see that. Our president has a foreign policy that makes our allies very nervous, and it emboldens our enemies. When you have a country that is being ruled by what many would perceive to be Islamic terrorists, when you start seeing that type of activity against their own citizens,
Expert told CBN News there's much more to the story.
It's not just a religious movement, it's Fethullah Gulen movement. They call themselves that. So it is, you can say a cult. You can say a highly personalized movement.
Middle East analyst Ariel Cohen tracks the Gulen movement closely.
What he's talking about is not the caliphate, is not the Sharia state. He calls it the New World Islamic Order.
Shortly after he left for America, a series of secretly recorded sermons featuring Gulen aired on Turkish television. In one of them, he told his followers, You must move in the arteries of the system without anyone noticing your existence until you reach all the power centers. You must wait for the time when you are complete and conditions are ripe until we can shoulder the entire world and carry it. You must wait until such time as you have gotten all the state power, until you have brought to your side all the power of the constitutional institutions in Turkey. Classified documents released by WikiLeaks show that U.S. officials have concerns about the Gulen schools. The U.S. Embassy in Ankara stated, "We have multiple reliable reports that the Gulenists use their school network, including dozens of schools in the U.S., to cherry-pick students they think are susceptible to being molded as proselytizers. And we have steadily heard reports about how the schools indoctrinate boarding students." Meanwhile, in its birthplace of Turkey, the movement continues to grow. Gulenists are said to make up at least 70% of the federal police force, devoted to their master teacher half a world away in the Pocono Mountains. And remember, Gulen has a green card. Our government knows he's here. Apparently, charming the Gulenist is part of America's continued outreach to supposedly moderate Islamist groups like the Muslim Brotherhood. Unfortunately for the geniuses inside the Beltway, our chumminess with Islamists won't make them like us anymore. In fact, it only makes things easier for them to accomplish their goals: Sharia law for one and all, and the return of the Islamic Caliphate.